welcome back to another episode of Alex the Explainer. My friends Wooly the Woolly Mammoth, Meggy the Megalodon, and Meg the Megalodon. And today we have a special visitor, all the way from the Pleistocene epoch. Well, except for you, Wooly. Wait, what's your name?
My name is Groundy the Ground Sloth.
Okay, it's Groundy the Ground Sloth. Sloth. Well, let's not argue about it, because today we're not learning about the Pleistocene megafauna. We're learning about the Titanic. Wow. This episode will be a really good one, because we'll learn about the Titanic. What are the funnels on your Titanic model? Oh, I have a different one. This is just a cruise ship model. Okay, let's dig in. Shipwrecks and sunken treasure. Ever dreamed of exploring the ocean for a shipwreck? Imagine how exciting it would be to discover a hidden treasure. Think that kind of the thing that only happens in movies. Think again. In 1985, Robert Ballard led a team that discovered the sunken ship RMS Titanic. Other people have found shipwrecks, but Titanic is special. One of the most famous ships of all time. The whole world was excited about Ballard's discovery. Robert Ballard and his crew celebrate on board of their research ship, the Quarry in the House, after they first stopped the wreckage in Titanic in 1985. That's them having a party because they found Titanic. In his own words, my dream has been watching the ocean floor, finding an underwater camera floor with an underwater camera for days, and all I'd see was mud. Late one evening, our camera suddenly passed over a ship boiler, and that was the moment we knew we'd find it. Robert Ballard. The Wonder Ship. Titanic. What made Titanic so special? In 1912, it was the biggest ship ever built. That's why some people call it the Wonder Ship. Other people call it the Floating Palace. Titanic had every possible luxury find in the world. Paneling, crystal, gold light fixtures, and a grand staircase, and with a skylight above it. First-class passengers ate fancy meals and enjoyed the ship gym and swimming pool. Titanic terms. Luxury. Something that offers a pleasure or a comfort, but it isn't necessary. Often difficult or expensive to get. Let's turn the page to inside Titanic. Titanic had 9 decks, levels of the first 7-class passengers. Titanic terms. Bow, front end of the ship. Stern, back end of the ship. Hull, the lowest part of the ship, partly covered with water. Stern, hull, third-class cabin, second-class cabin, smokestack, first-class dining room, grand staircase, gym, wireless room, boiler room, pool, bridge, bow, and crow's nest. In her own words, my pretty little cabin, and his electric heater and pink curtains delighted me. It's beautiful laced quoits and pink cut crush shines and photographs all around. It looks so homey. First-class passenger, Lady Duff Gorin. She's very rich. 10 cool things about Titanic. Number 1. Titanic was almost as long as 3 football fields. 2. Including the 4 smokestacks. The ship only was as tall as a 17-story building. 3. Titanic's engines used more than 800 tons of coal each day. The ship's top speed was 24 knots. It's 27 miles an hour. 4. Titanic was one of the first ships to have a telephone system and electric lights in all the rooms. Number 5. The ship had 4 elevators, a heated swimming pool, a gym, 2 libraries, and 2 barber shops, not boiler rooms. 6. Each day, passengers and crew who used 14,000 gallons of drinking water. Titanic could carry 3,547 passengers and crew. About 2,200 people traveled on its first voyage. 7! Smoke and steam made Titanic's boiler rooms escape through 3 stacks. Boilers added through stacks, and they can make stacks because they thought it made the ship look better. 9. Some passengers paid about $99,000 in today's money to travel aboard Titanic. 10. To feed passengers and crew, Titanic had 86,000 pounds of meat, 40,000 eggs, and 40 tons of potatoes, and 7,000 heads of letter juice, 3,500 pounds of onions, 36,000 apples, and 1,000 loaves of bread on board. Wow, that's a fun fact. Right, guys?
I like that fun fact.
Okay, let's move on with the rest of it. Building Titanic. Come on, get less blurry. Dang it. Titanic's tragic story began in 1907. That's when J. Bruce Ismay, the British shipping company, the White Star Line, and William J. Peru were the head of Harland and Wolff. Shipyards decided to build 3 huge ships. One of those ships was Titanic. In 1909, Thomas Andrews began work on Titanic in Belfast, Ireland. The ship was finished on March 31, 1912. In early April, Titanic arrived in Southampton, England. Then a 900-person crew who took the week to prepare for a ship's first voyage. Bon voyage. When Titanic left England on April 10th, 1912, it had an impressive line of passengers. The White Star Line's chairman, J. Bruce Ismay, and Titanic builder Thomas Andrews were on board. And, I missed track. Sorry, Okay, we're on board. So were some of the richest people in the world. The ship also carried many middle-class passengers and poor immigrants to have a better life in America. For the first few days, the trip of passengers felt like they were on a vacation. They spent their time strolling around on the deck, playing cards, enjoying the ship's fine food and other luxuries. But that all changed on Sunday, April 14th, 1912, when Titanic entered the area of the Atlantic known as the Iceberg Alley. Ooh. Tragedy at sea. So, how good are you liking the book?
I love it.
It's great. I love it. I really love it.
like it.
You guys are starting to like it. As Titanic cursed across the wavy water. At the top speed, it required 9 iceberg warnings from other ships. But the wireless operator, Jack Phillips, and Harold Bride were busy sending revealing messages from passengers. They didn't deliver all the warnings to the bridge. Captain Edward J. Smith seemed to ignore messages he did not receive during the day before dinner. He finally charged the ship, cruised to the south, but didn't slow down. Ooh, what's gonna happen? After sunset, the brightly in the color moonlight sky. It was brightly cold, and the waters glassy smooth. Just before midnight, Frederick Fleet, one of the ship's lookouts, spotted a large dark object in the water. He rang the alarm bell 3 times and then shouted, "Iceberg, right ahead!" The first officer, William Murdoch, received quickly. He ordered the crew to reverse the engines and run the boat left away from the iceberg. Then it pushed the 2 bulkheads. It was too late. Some of the passengers were asleep. They didn't feel the iceberg scrape the side of the ship, but the damage was done. Captain Smith and Thomas just rushed to the below decks. Thomas Andrews saw the seawater that was gushing through the ship. He insisted that Titanic would sink in less than 2 hours.